Hi Christine, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is a tutorial to go with your new 201, which by the way is one of the very best sewing machines ever made, uh, from the all steel gears to the full rotary hook and everything in between. It's just a really fine machine. And in this tutorial, we're going to go over how to wind the bobbin, how to thread the machine, how to work the various controls. Basically, just how to get started on your new machine. I mean, maybe you're already really familiar with this machine, but in case you need a little brush up, the information is here for you. So without further ado, we're going to wind the bobbin. You find your bobbin down here below the slide plate. It takes a class 66 bobbin. That's one that's slightly rounded on the top and the bottom. All right, so to wind a bobbin, put your spool on this spool pin down here, go into the bobbin winder tensioner, and put your thread through any one of the holes on the bobbin. I usually put a few wraps on the bobbin just to hold the thread in place while it winds. And then with the thread going on over the top this way, slide it onto the bobbin winder and turn it until the keeper pin goes into the small hole on the side of the bobbin. Press the bobbin winder towards the hand wheel until the finger drops down inside, and as the bobbin winds, it's going to slowly fill and lift this lever until when the bobbin is full, it pops loose and quits winding. Declutch your machine by turning the chrome knob in the center of your hand wheel towards you, half a turn or so. And in the tensioner, bobbin winder is pressed in towards the hand wheel, chrome knob is loosened, and away we go. Looks like it's filling nice and evenly. That should be plenty for our test. Black thread against the black machine, it's kind of invisible. Pop the finger up to release the bobbin winder, reclutch the hand wheel, and on this singer, the thread comes off the top of the bobbin winder in this direction. Drop the bobbin into the bobbin race. Guide your thread into this little slot on the back of the hook until it clicks into place. To thread the machine, put your spool on the spool pin. Go into the top thread guide down between the discs of the tension assembly all the way around until you pick up the little thin check spring, and keep on going until your thread goes into the notch at the top of the tension assembly. Then up and through the take-up lever from right to left. Pick up the thread guide on the faceplate, thread guide on the needle bar, on the needle clamp. And on this one, it threads through the needle in the opposite direction of most machines. It threads from right to the left. Hold your thread loosely, turn the hand wheel towards you one full revolution. The needle will take the thread down where the hook will pick it up and wrap it around the bobbin and bring up your lower thread. There it is, lower thread. This is your stitch length, and from the center position going down, your stitches get longer and longer and longer and longer until your longest stitches are at the bottom. From the center going up, your stitches get longer and longer and longer, but in reverse. To lock it so that your stitches are the same length in forward and reverse, just loosen this little thumb screw and bring it up until it makes contact with the lever. And then your stitches will be the same length, forward and reverse. We're going to leave it wide open so we can do whatever we want. This is your tension, obviously. When I restore a machine, I usually set it so that your average tension for regular thread and fabric is 3. And you adjust it up or down as needs be from that position till you have a nice looking stitch. This is your sewing foot pressure adjuster, and you want just enough pressure so that the feed dogs move the fabric along with authority. Any more than that, depending on how delicate your material is, it could mar the fabric. So, yeah, can't think of much more to say. Once a year, you should open your 2 grease tubes here and add a little Singer motor grease to it. This special grease that melts at just the right viscosity to get up into the gear housing here. Oil your machine after every 8 or so hours of sewing, whether it's 8 hours all in one day or 2 hours one day and 4 hours the next, and so on and so forth. Regular sewing machine oil. See the oil holes here, and there are movement points under the faceplate. Just take the faceplate off, turn your hand wheel, look for every place where parts move against each other, and put a drop of oil at each of those points. You want to put a drop of oil at where the hook spins in its race here, or where the hook spins around the bobbin. And while you're in there, you should take this needle plate off and brush and vacuum out the dust and lint. And of course, on the underside, there are, again, movement points. Just look for everything that moves and make sure it gets a drop of oil. Under each of these caps, there's a gear assembly that can use just a little smear of grease on the 4 cardinal points of the gear. Your feed drop is under here. This knurled thumb screw here. Just screw it out all the way. It won't come out, but you'll know when it's done. And then you can drop your feed. Feed back. I thought there were 3 holes. This one only has 2, so you can lock it in the up position, or you can lock it in the down position. I'm going to leave it locked in the up position. Make sure it goes into the threaded hole. Screw it down till it's snug. Thank you again, Christine. We appreciate your patronage. You help us to keep doing what we love doing, which is restoring these beautiful machines. And yeah, happy sewing. I wish you many, many happy years of sewing on your new Singer 201.